I'm 28 years old. I'm currently pregnant for my neighbor who's 57 years old. You missed
Wait a minute, hold on. You're 28. Mm-hmm. You're currently pregnant by your 57-year-old neighbor.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode. Before we get started, do me a favor, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and for everybody else, make sure that you hit the like button. It really helps for exposure for the video. Now let's hop right into it.
What? I thought I didn't hear, but okay.
I'm currently pregnant for my 57-year-old neighbor. Okay. He's separated from his wife, but he has a girlfriend who's currently his cousin.
So currently pregnant by your 57-year-old neighbor who is
separated from his wife, but has a girlfriend, which is his cousin. Okay. Now, wait. Just wait.
No, I can't wait. No. I got to drink this one swallow at a time. Okay, I got to go beat by beat because putting a lot on this sandwich. You're currently pregnant. You're 28. By your 57-year-old neighbor who is separated from his wife but lives with his girlfriend.
Has a girlfriend.
Who is his cousin.
All right, we on the page.
Oh, okay. I wasn't
We've been kicking this since March.
On that page.
We really was cool until I found out I was pregnant. Now, when I found out I was pregnant, I showed him the pregnancy test. He took it and wouldn't give it back.
He took it and went to bed?
Like, he took it. He never gave it back. I asked for it back. He said no. He didn't give it back to me.
Oh, he didn't give it back. If you're 57 years old, you get a pregnancy test, you probably gonna go lay down too.
Okay. See, he's 57, but he's not really no old man though. Like, he look good for his age like you do.
I know, I'm 64, I know. But if you give me a pregnancy test, I'm gonna go lay down. I'm gonna go get in the bed.
I'm trying to put myself in this person's shoes, and this is the part about society that genuinely confuses me. If I was in her situation and I was dating somebody 30 years my elder, now I'm around her age, I'm 29 years old, so the probability of me knocking up someone 30 years my elder is virtually none, but let's play along. If I was dating someone 30 years my elder who was also in a relationship and still in a relationship with their cousin, I wouldn't tell anybody. Now, I wouldn't hide the kid because that's wrong, but what I wouldn't do is let people know that I went against the moral grain by dating somebody who's already in a relationship, and to make matters worse, dating somebody who is dating their cousin. That is huge taboo and a bit gross. And that's why I say it confuses me a little bit that people are so willing to air out all their dirty laundry on a big talk show host like this, or even something as simple as Facebook, TikTok, or any of the social media platforms. Some things does not need to be shared with the general public. And I think that's something that we all can agree on. But hey, it provides for good entertainment.
We really was cool. We talked every day. He was my personal alarm clock. He woke me up for work and everything. He called me all day. I called him all day. He cooked food for me. He let me drive his brand new truck. He sponsored my business for my summer reading program for the kids to go on a field trip.
He sponsored your what?
My business.
For
the summer reading program. I have a paint with a twist and Amy. He sponsored my business.
I tell you what, you see that part where old George come in there and talk about tasting his own bourbon. Kramer comes sliding in.
He sponsored a business. I have summer reading program for my kids. He paid for the trip. He made sure I had everything I need for the kids. So when I told him I was pregnant, he was saying that give him time to coop to it because he's too old to be a father. He was like, just give me time. Give me time to process it or whatever. Mm-hmm. My question to you is, do you think I'm wrong for asking him just to sign a birth certificate and go on by his business, and since he don't want to really have nothing to do with the kid, he think he's too old?
Okay, let me put this together. You're pregnant by a 57-year-old guy that's your neighbor who is in a relationship with another woman that you think is his cousin. But he's been helping you with a business that are painting tinsel pixie sticks.
Paint with a twist.
Got a business where you paint with twigs. And he sponsored the business, and y'all was really cool. And he helped you out, and he let you drive his truck. Okay. And so then you came and told him you were pregnant. And so then after that, he said he needed some time to process it. And he has a grandson that's 7. Now, you want to know if you should just have him sign the birth certificate and you just go ahead on, since he don't want to have nothing to do with the baby. Do I have that much right?
Like anything I ask him for, he do. If I ask him for food, he gonna give me food. If I ask him for anything, he gonna do it.
You didn't ask all that.
Like he really, like we was close.
I hate when people
and
do
the
that.
reason why, okay, he was telling me that him and his girlfriend wasn't what it was, but it turns out he was lying. He was saying that, oh, we don't do this and we don't do that, but now everything hit the fans. You know, he's like, man, we supposed to get married. How you gonna get married? You already married. Ain't never got divorced. It's like you just was lying a whole while about her, saying that she was saying you was a quick man and this and that, all kinds of stuff.
Okay, yeah.
So she's finally airing out her true intentions. She basically wants this guy to establish paternity by signing the birth certificate, and that way she can get a reliable source of income known as child support. I know, shock. Which is extremely unfortunate because, like we've talked about on this channel, whether it's a mom or dad, it's always better to raise a child in a 2-parent household. And the second best option after that is for the father to raise the child. Nothing against single mothers, but the empirical data is very clear that single fathers will raise better children than single mothers by every metric possible. However, it is always better for 2 parents to raise one child, or the offspring in general. What's truly disappointing about this situation is that you have 2 adults, a 28-year-old and a 57-year-old. Now, of course, there's a huge gap between them, but they're both grown enough to know the consequences for their actions. And the only person that's truly going to suffer from this is the child that's going to be born into this world. Just using the benchmarker of 28, at 28 plus, you should be dating with intention. That's not me saying that you should be dating for a relationship, but at the very least, you should know exactly what you want and to move so responsibly. It doesn't matter if you're going for something short term or long term. It's just more of a countermeasure to not get people around you and, of course, a potential future life involved in an unstable dynamic.
You seem like a sweetheart of a lady, and I hate you got yourself in this position. It breaks my heart, really, because I got daughters. But see, when a man tells you he's surprised and he got to process it, what he got to process? If you're 57 years old and you having unprotected sex, what you think supposed to happen? What you got to process? Ideally for you, what would you like to happen?
I would like him to sign a birth certificate and just let me get the benefits if I'm happy.
So that's all you want out of this?
I really want him to be in my kid's life, but I'm not finna force nobody to do nothing. I can do it by myself. I did it already. Like, I'm not finna force nobody to do nothing. Then my kid gets mistreated. I'm good. I just want you to sign a birth certificate so my kid won't have my last name because I know who the kid for. That'll be dumb to just be sitting up. Wait.
Huh?
I talk too fast. Okay.
You talk too fast. Fast speed ain't the problem. It's the pronunciation. No, I want to help you, but I don't know how. You know, I want the best for you. I don't like for young women to get themselves in this position. I don't like for women to find themselves on the out. Because, see, when the mistake get made with the children, with a child, the woman is always holding the bag, no matter what. You know, I raised my sons. I preach to my sons. Don't you get no girl pregnant and then mess her life up and then you go to college and play ball and do what you want to do and then she's stuck holding the bag. I raised my sons that way, not to do that to a young lady. And then I asked my daughters to protect themselves. Watch what you're doing. So as a father, I'm hurt. You know, now as a stand-up, you a gold mine.
All right, so typical Steve Harvey, his audience is primarily women, so he has to always spin it in a beautiful light for them, right? Make no mistake, 57-year-old dude that put himself in this situation and her too, unacceptable, illogical behavior. I don't condone it whatsoever. But on the flip side, the same thing can be said about her. Steve is putting a twist that women hold the bulk of responsibility, and they always are the ones that are stepping up to the plate to raise a child. In reality, they hold the bulk of reproductive rights, which is a huge difference. There's plenty of men out there that are fighting for the rights to just be a father and not just a weekend visitor or every other weekend visitor to their child. So let's throw that notion out of the window. Women aren't always the one handling the bulk of responsibility, and there's a lot of them that are handling the bulk, but they're doing so by isolating the father out of the picture. I just wanted to make a comment of that because I didn't want to let that BS comment slide, making it seem women can do no wrong and that men are the ones that will step out and not take care of their children. There are plenty, and I would argue that most men are interested and want to be there for their children, but just the way the laws are set up, it doesn't necessarily work out in their favor. This will be a great time for this young woman to really reflect on her actions, not just by the pregnancy itself with this guy, but also going on something like a talk show host with Steve Harvey and airing out this type of news. What did he say? He said, as a father, I'm hurting, but as a comedian, this is a gold mine. That's because everybody is laughing at her. They're not laughing with her, and they're gonna go home after this episode and just absolutely throw dirt on her name, which is completely unnecessary for her to put herself in that position in the first place. That's why being selective of what goes on in your personal life and what you air out is so important. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna wrap up this video. Before you leave, make sure that you hit that like button and subscribe button as well, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.